Blood spreads across the white marble floor of the Senate chamber. Julius Caesar collapses beneath a storm of daggers raised by trusted senators. Around him, men shout that Rome is finally free again. They believe they have saved the Republic from tyranny. They believe history will remember them as heroes. 48 hours earlier, the mood in Rome felt very different. Caesar had recently been declared dictator for life by the Senate. To his supporters, it meant stability after years of civil war. To his enemies, it sounded dangerously close to kingship. Rome had expelled its last king centuries before and never forgot it. Cassius, one of the leading senators, feared Caesar's rising influence deeply. He watched as Caesar's face appeared proudly on newly minted Roman coins. Statues of Caesar stood among gods, elevating him beyond ordinary statesmen. Crowds cheered his name louder than they cheered the Republic itself. To Cassius, that devotion signaled the slow death of Roman liberty. But fear alone would not justify assassination in the eyes of Rome. They needed someone respected, someone known for honor and integrity. They needed Marcus Junius Brutus. Brutus admired Caesar and had once fought loyally at his side, yet he also carried a powerful legacy tied to Rome's hatred of kings. His ancestor had helped overthrow Rome's final monarch generations earlier. If Caesar crowned himself king, Brutus feared history would judge him weak. Letters began appearing at Brutus's home, urging him to defend the Republic. Some were likely forged to manipulate his growing doubt and anxiety. Still, the message was clear: Rome needed him to act. Brutus convinced himself that killing Caesar was an act of sacrifice. He would not strike out of hatred but out of duty. The conspirators chose the Ides of March for their plan. Caesar was scheduled to attend a Senate session without armed guards. Several warnings reached him in the days before that meeting. A soothsayer famously warned him to beware the Ides of March. His wife Calpurnia dreamt of his statue pouring blood into Roman hands. She begged him to remain home on that fateful morning. But Caesar dismissed omens as superstition unworthy of powerful men. He believed his authority and popularity made him untouchable. Inside the theater of Pompey, the conspirators waited in tense silence. Each man felt the cold steel hidden beneath flowing white fabric. They agreed to strike together to avoid suspicion falling on one. When Caesar entered, senators rose respectfully as always. He took his seat unaware that betrayal surrounded him closely. Tullius Cimber approached with a petition regarding his exiled brother. As Caesar refused the request, the conspirators moved into position. The first dagger struck suddenly from behind his shoulder. Shock replaced authority as Caesar turned to defend himself. More blades followed, stabbing from every direction at once. He fought briefly, stunned more by betrayal than pain. Then he saw Brutus among the attackers closing in. Recognition crossed his face as resistance slowly faded. Within moments, 23 wounds ended his life. Caesar fell at the base of Pompey's statue, bleeding heavily onto marble. The conspirators stepped back, trembling but convinced they had restored liberty. They raised their bloodied hands and shouted that Rome was free. But the silence in the chamber felt heavier than triumph. Outside, news spread rapidly through Rome's crowded streets. The public reaction was not celebration, but shock and grief. Many citizens saw Caesar as a reformer and protector of the poor. Mark Antony seized the moment during Caesar's funeral speech. He reminded the crowd of Caesar's victories and generosity. He named the conspirators responsible for each fatal wound. Anger ignited across the city, turning public opinion violently. Riots broke out, and the assassins were forced to flee. Within months, Rome descended into another devastating civil war. Brutus and Cassius would eventually face defeat and take their own lives. The republic they claimed to defend never truly returned. Instead, Caesar's adopted heir Octavian rose steadily to supreme power. He became Augustus, the first Roman emperor in history. In trying to prevent a monarchy, the conspirators helped create an empire. They believed they were saving Rome from a tyrant. History remembers them differently, not as saviors of the Republic, but as the men who killed Julius Caesar and ended it.